In the heart of an old town, there stood a grand clock tower. It had been there for centuries, its chimes echoing across the streets, marking the hours of people's lives. For as long as anyone could remember, the clock had never stopped, never faltered. It was the soul of the town, a constant amidst the ever-changing world. But hidden within the clock tower was a secret. There was a man, a caretaker, who lived inside. His name was Elias. Few people knew he existed, yet he had dedicated his entire life to the clock. Every day he climbed its narrow stairs, oiling the gears, tightening the bolts, and polishing the pendulum. The townsfolk admired the clock's perfection, never realizing the silent devotion it took to keep it running. One stormy night, lightning struck the clock tower. The town gathered below, staring in shock as the great clock stopped for the first time in its history. Its hands were frozen at midnight. Panic spread. What did it mean? Was it a bad omen? Elias, frail and weary from years of solitude, climbed the tower for what he knew might be the last time. As he worked through the night, he thought about all the years he had spent unseen, unacknowledged. His hands trembled as he tightened a final screw, and suddenly, the clock's gears began to turn. The chimes rang out, stronger and more resonant than ever. The town erupted in cheers, but Elias remained in the shadows, watching quietly. For the first time, he felt a profound truth. His life's work had never been about recognition. It had been about purpose. The clock was his legacy, not for the fame it brought, but for the lives it touched without them ever knowing. The next morning, when the mayor climbed the tower to thank whoever had fixed it, Elias was gone. On his workbench, he had left a single note. The value of what you do isn't in who sees it. It's in the lives it quietly touches. Let the clock remind you of that every hour. Sometimes, the greatest acts of love and dedication are the ones that go unnoticed. Ask yourself, what clock are you quietly keeping alive?